henchman, and he liked to cook. And it might have been interesting if Kronk sounded dark, like it's a shame we're going to miss my dessert. I worked so hard on it. I didn't really feel like that was the way to go, and I thought that since he was like that and he seemed reticent, that I just decided to make him a little bit sweeter like that, So I went in there with that, and it was great because they were all like, "That's it," And I realized in that moment that producers, at least in animation, can write pages of a character description, but oftentimes they don't know what a character sounds like until they hear what the character sounds like. So when people ask me advice in voiceover work, I can't tell you how to get in, because I was a little bit of a cheat getting in the door, because I started doing it after the last year of Seinfeld, and it did help open some doors, and I was at least able to audition. But then when you get in there, I realized when you audition, don't make it so they have to direct you, or tell you how to sound. If you could bring in something different or unique or whatnot, because there's not a right way. There's just the creative way. And so, because so often I was always trying to do things the right way, and then that was like my light bulb moment. It's like, well, there isn't a right way. There is, a creative way. So that's what I encourage, voiceover actors and aspiring voiceover actors to do, is to do things just unique and different in your own way. And then if they give you direction, be able to take direction. But remember that, you're the creator, so. Yeah, I can keep rattling on and on and on. But
I guess I'll talk for a second. Speaking of Disney, so out of all the things you've done combined, I don't think you have more views in any project you've ever done than Soarin'. How did that kind of come about? And every time I go to Disney, I've got things like that. I love those videos, the interactive things, and then there's you, the friendly flight attendant.
Well, it was cool, that was one of those things where they just asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, "Be part of a Disney ride." Sure, I went in, we shot it in a day, and and then that was it. And they just kept it for all these years, and it's been so neat. But I remember on the day when I did it, John Lasseter dropped by, and then he took me on a tour of Disneyland, of California Adventure, and we got to walk around and go into some of these, some of the attractions that hadn't even opened yet, like It's a Bug's Life, we went in there, and they don't even have that anymore, but we sat in there during the Bug's Life show, and he just took me around. I thought that was really cool, He's such an amazing, talent and creator, Lasseter.
I have to know, and you don't have to say specifically, but like the residuals on that, like even if you got a penny per view, like that's insane. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, when you do stuff like that, it's about, the opportunity to work with Disney and be a part of something, So, when you work with Disney, you're trying to make a big business deal. You just say, "Thank you, mouse." I always love it when Disney calls. The best calls I got in the last few years was for Zootopia 2, and well, not only is it Disney, but it's already an established universe. So to get to come in and play, so that was so much fun to do. Yes, and
Well, let's go from Disney